Yes, today we are going to uh, study about an article which is related to the Supreme Court and cases. Yes, Candy, you can scroll. Knowing the killer and Supreme Court referring death penalty issues to the Constitution bench. Before we are saying, before we are going to study about that article, we should know the meaning of the Constitution bench. Constitution bench means group of 4 or 5 judges. When it comes to the dealing of cases, only 2 or 3 judges go through a case. But Constitution bench is a group of 5 or 4 members. That is about Constitution bench. Here it is. Here one case. Cases will come to the Supreme Court, or even they are even after they crossing the High Court and sub courts. When it is severe case, then only it will be in Supreme Court. Please scroll. The Supreme Court of India has done well to seek norms to present mitigating factors for awarding death. But as this is a serious case, it is in Supreme Court. Now it will come. It came to end. It comes to decide the end of that case. In this case, they announced the death penalty. Before announcing death penalty, in Supreme Court, judges have to go through mitigating factors. Means as it is of death related case, before going to announcing the death penalty, they should come across the mitigating factors. Mitigating factors means the factors which reduce the conviction to the offender. Means to reduce the death penalty and to alternative to the death penalty. They have to think upon the alternative to the death penalty, like this. So Supreme Court is seeking norms means asking the mitigating factors to the benches or to the judges who are supporting the offender. That's it. Please scroll. Sentencing after conviction means after announcement of conviction to the offender, it is a naughty problem in cases relating to the capital offences. Means for suppose a person is supposed to death penalty, it is not a silly because it is of death related. So it is so naughty problem to declare death penalty. Naughty problem means which is hard to solve. The problem which is hard to solve. Trial judges are called upon to make a decision on whether only a death sentence will meet the ends of justice or the lifetime will be enough. Means here trial judges means the judges which are, the judges under the high authorities are called upon, means they are called upon. Called upon means actually it is a phrase like call on, visit. They have to visit the Supreme Court, just like make a use of someone or something as a source of help. They should give their statements towards that penalty, and they should declare whether it will be ending, whether that penalty is the only solution to that case, or it will be like lifetime case like this. They have to decide this. Trial judges have to think upon it. As a salutary norm, the Supreme Court has laid down the death penalty can be imposed only in the rarest of rare cases. Means death penalty is applicable for the rarest of the rare cases. Means very highly aggravating cases. For the highly aggravating cases only, death penalty will be imposed, not to all silly cases. So Supreme Court as a salutary norm, just have to Supreme Court have to let the all courts, all subordinate courts to know that death penalty is imposed only in the rarest of the rare cases only. So that's what they said. Please scroll. No, one more paragraph is there. Please scroll. Not just to scroll to the upside. Yes, stop. Subsequent judges have sought to buttress this principle by holding the gruesome nature of the offense may not be the sole criterion to decide what brings it under the rarest of the rare category. As we know that death penalty only imposed to the rarest of the rare categories, subsequent judgment have sought to buttress this principle. Buttress means strengthen. Like buttress means like how we have backbone in our body to give support to the all other parts of our body. Like this, buttress means the evidence which gives support to a principle. The subsequent judges have sought means asked. They asked to buttress this principle by holding the gruesome nature. Gruesome nature means uh, the threatening factor of that case. By holding the gruesome nature of the offense may not be the sole criterion to decide what brings it under the rarest of rare category. Before going to death penalty, we should know whether the factors mentioned towards the offender's conviction are eligible to the rarest of rare category or not. So for that, subsequent judges have sought buttress of that principle to aggravate the situation to get conviction to the offender. So that's it. The offender, his socio-economic background and his state of mind are also key factor in this regard. Before going to implement the death penalty, the judges should consider that socio-economic background and his status of studying all have to consider as a key factors on that record. In practice, the sentencing part of the trial takes place after the court records a conviction. Means you should not declare your views before court going to convict that person, before court going to declaration of conviction to the offender. After it gives judgment opposite to the offender, like death penalty imposed to the offender, on the same day they don't gonna implement death penalty. They give chance to mitigate the factors, mitigate the situation, just to just not to get oppose him to the death penalty. So they are saying that the sentencing part of trial takes place after the court records a conviction. Whenever the court given judgment, now after that only we can do discuss on upon that. Before we can't take decisions. It is often done on the same day as the verdict. Verdict means judgment given by the Supreme Court. It is means here discussion on the conviction mitigation factors. Mitigation means reduction in the punishment. It is often done on the same day as verdict was declared, with only some limited arguments being heard on the mitigating circumstances from the convict side and on the aggravating circumstances from the prosecution. As we know that there are two parties, means opponents and dependents. So on the same day they listen both parties, but it is of only limited arguments they have been heard. They will heard only limited arguments, and also we know that court don't give a don't gonna waste his time by spending meaningless arguments. So it gives us a limited time to make arguments on the both sides, like mitigating circumstances and on the aggravating circumstances from the prosecution. That's it. Please scroll. The latest order of the three-judge bench, referring the Constitution bench, the issue of granting a meaningful opportunity to convicts and the questions of sentence, is a big stride in humanizing the sentencing process. The latest order of the three-judge bench. The three-judge bench are a main bench and normal Constitution bench, or regarding as a secondary bench. So the latest order of the three-judge bench, referring to the Constitution bench, the issuing of granting a meaningful opportunity to convict on the question of sentence. Question of sentence means question of implementing the death penalty. The three-judge bench, referring the Constitution bench, that it is a big stride in humanizing the sentencing process. Big stride. Stride means a big step to deal upon. Because death penalty is not a silly issue, so it is a big stride to take decision upon. They are referring to the Constitution bench. Same day, sentencing has been upheld by the several judgments, with the Supreme Court often saying where a meaningful opportunity has been given to the convict to present mitigating factors. They are saying that on the same day, whenever the offender get conviction as punishment, he has also get the chance to give evidence of mitigating factors on the death penalty, like considering his circumstances, socio-economic factors and all. He can submit the mitigating factors to reduce the conviction that has imposed on him. The mere fact that death was awarded on the same day would not violate the sentence. Means on the same day, whenever the judgment came like conviction on the offender, at the same day they don't gonna implement that. Please scroll. Some high courts have given a chance to convicts to present mitigating factors so that the inadequacy of sentencing the process in a trial courts does not matter. Means high courts get a chance. Supreme Court gave a chance to the high courts that convicts to present mitigating factors so that inequality of the sentencing process in the trial court doesn't matter. Means the trial court means subordinate courts. Uh, Before going to implementing the penalty, high court given a chance that they can provide evidences on mitigating factors according to the in support of offender, like this they said. Please scroll. Present thinking, however, is veering towards the view that court has elicit reports from the jail authorities. Elicit means drawing or collecting the reports from the jail authorities, uh, probation officers, and even trained psychologists to assess the mitigating factors in favor of not imposing the death penalty. Present thinking, present what the Supreme Court thinking is that, however, is veering towards to view the courts must, to just proceed towards the verdict. They just have to collect the information uh, in a perfect manner, like from jail authorities, probation officers, and even trained psychiatrists to assess the mitigating factors in favor of not opposing the death penalty. They just not to, they are doing themselves. Means they are also trying to make mitigating factors to not imposing the death penalty. For that, to not impose, they have to collect all evidences from the all authorities, like from jail they have to convict as it is a crime, so they have to collect evidences from the jail authorities, probation officers, and even trained psychologists. That's it. In its referral order, the bench has also raised the question as to states that which mitigating factors are to be presented. Means In a referral order, bench raised a question that to state that which migrating factors, which type of, migrating factors in which direction we have to be present. Uh, this is the question raised by the bench. It has noted that the scales or title against the convicts now. Convicts means offenses now, as it is only after conviction that they are able to speak about mitigating circumstances. We already discussed that we can able to discuss upon the mitigating factors only after conviction has declared on the offender. That's it. Please scroll. The prosecution means opposite person, whomsoever uh, filed the case on the person, offender or the accused. The prosecution, on the other hand, presents its case from the beginning on how heinous the crime was and how much accused deserved the maximum punishment. Means when it comes to the opposition party keep on presenting the documents regarding offender, like he must deserve this punishment like this, as it is a serious crime. that is, the Constitution bench may come up with a new guidelines under which the trial courts themselves can hold a comprehensive investigation into factors related to the upbringing, education, and socio-economic conditions of an offender before deciding the punishment. Means it is saying that the bench may come up with a new guidelines. Means Constitution bench means a group of 4 or 5 judges. They can also give their statements according to the environment going on there. They may come up, may means possibility. They may come up with the guidelines under which trial courts themselves can hold comprehensive investigation into factors related to the upbringing, education, and socio-economic conditions of an offender. Means before going to punish him, uh, the trial courts themselves can hold comprehensive investigation. After they can hold means they are giving up, they have given opportunity to hold comprehensive investigation, uh, like upbringing, education, or socio-economic conditions of offender before going to punish him. Like that's it. Please scroll. The legal and moral dilemma of sending someone to the gallows, of course, will submit only as long as the death penalty remains on the statute book. Means the legal and normal dilemma of sending someone to the gallows. Gallows means hanging, for hanging. Sending someone for hanging as a conviction. The legal and moral dilemma. It is a confusion that whether we have to send him for this case or not, and we should not know. We may not know that whether it is a rarest of rare problem or not before sending someone to the gallows. Of course, will subsist only as long as the death penalty remains on the statute book. In the Constitution, there might be the sentence like death penalty is imposed to the person. Uh, it only possible, sending someone to the gallows only possible, only exist, and will last as long as the death penalty remains on the statute book. That's it. That's it. This is all about the article which is in Hindu paper. Thank you for listening.